everybody, it is Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, you guys should become patrons over on Patreon to support the channel and get the full reaction. Subscribe, follow us on social media.
Follow us in real life. Follow us home from school.
Oh boy.
Follow us into a dark alley.
Oh dear Hunter. Okay, so 2 things before we get started, okay? If you have subscribed within the past 4 months, you guys may be like, what? Because I'm wearing one of my wigs. Now it's not summer anymore, and it's cold, and it's nice, and I won't get as sweaty down here. So I got to put my Senku wig on.
When you said down here, I know you refer to the basement, but you also gestured to your crotch, and I just want to know.
No, I mean the chair.
Oh,
because the
that's
chair
true.
is leather. And
yes.
so it just, there have been some incidences down here, okay? We're pretty gross, but that's okay. But
Weird,
yeah, and so,
honey,
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this is for Senku, okay? This is for our king. I don't know why, but because of the light that we have, it sort of washes us out slightly. I don't know, the lighting's just a little different, so it looks kind of more turquoisey in here, okay? But I promise that if you looked at it in real life, it is green. Follow me on Instagram, go see my pictures, okay? I'm trying, I'm trying my hardest. So yeah, this is for Senku. You guys may also notice the microphone. We just sort of did this, not necessarily as a test, like theoretically the microphone should be closer to us than like all the way over there where it was before, but also like I was recording a voiceover for Cinder for that Cinder video, and I noticed how good it sounded. And I was like, damn, I'm fucking stupid. So obviously this room is echoey. There's not much we can do about that. But, you know, we have to sort of progress, you know, with technology. And this is part of that progression. It would probably sound even better if the room didn't have this echo. But I'm not going to soundproof it because I probably won't live here
audio foam
so, yeah.
on the walls.
It's expensive, though. So,
really?
Yeah. It's like, for like one of these squares, like imagine like we would have to cover like maybe like 5 by 5 by 5, like just keep going on those walls. They're like $50 each or something ridiculous. Like
really?
It's crazy.
Wow.
If you're a YouTuber, okay, I don't recommend doing it unless you're a YouTuber that makes money. We don't make money, so I don't recommend it. Anyway, it's just the little things, cause like, you know, I live here now. I probably won't live here in like 3 or 4 years, hopefully not. Anyway, it's not terrible. I'm just saying it's nice to also move out and have your own space. And then after that, Hunter and I will record in a closet. So until then, here we all are. We're gonna watch some Dr. Stone today. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's go.
Wait, he's here?
No, this is a different beefy guy.
Wait, is that Magma?
It's Magma, yeah.
Oh shit, this is the first time we got a lot of blood, I think.
Why are they new? Why? Wait, he doesn't know who he is. This must be a new guy then. Oh no!
Oh,
he just died! Hunter, he just died! Wait!
Was that one of the beefy guys?
Maybe.
That doesn't even look like it's that deep in him.
He obviously died instantly, obviously.
No, he's not dead. It was shallow.
Oh, what? So it's fake?
Wait, so he's alive?
Just in case. I like how he's just talking about the evil plan in front of all these people, like, and no one else here? Like, oh, maybe I'll drown her, like, and all that stuff.
Oh, well that was quick.
Oh! So she won. Nice! Sisters protecting sisters. Oh wow, she's training them. So they're gonna marry her? Why not just get Senku to marry her?
Well, because Senku's a wimp, but maybe he
Senku's a... What if he's trying to run as fast as he can so he can, like, not miss Tsukasa? You understand what I'm saying?
That's true. Because, I mean, if
he
gone
could be
for
doing
too
that.
long,
exactly, and so maybe he's trying to get back and protect Senku. Oh! So they revived some people already.
Oh, who's this? How do they have a flat cap?
What? Okay.
Always like that.
I I love that it's always like that. I don't know about you guys, but that just makes me happy.
Would that be romantic for you to slam into someone and...
No.
Be difficult in his own right. So he's gonna say, yeah,
that Senku is dead. Oh, I knew you were a real one, Jen! I knew you wouldn't rat us out! Okay, so we have like 3 things to talk about, I think, or 2 things, really. Like, it's broken up into those 3 spots in the episode, but it's basically the Tsukasa part and then the stuff in the village part. I think that's what we should talk about today. So, like, Tsukasa woke up Jen, and I'm assuming it's because he recognized Jen, which is sort of weird because Jen was stone. And so you have to kind of think about how many distinguishable features someone has. You know what I mean? But he knew who he was, I think.
You were the magician. So, the what?
Because they knew each other. They were on screen together. And so, you know, he recognized him, but did he recognize him or just wake up some random brat? I would say that he recognized him. Like, this was calculated because he knows that he's a mentalist. And it's about, like, oh, I want you to use your skill as a mentalist and figure out their psychology. Like, that's what he said later. But you see that he's here gathering the statues of people who ought to be revived first. And so I'm like, his face is my face, right? Because when you look at all of these people, they're all just beefy guys, and so like. Okay,
so all the people that we can see. In
Tsukasa's entire thing.
That's a woman.
That's a
woman.
Yeah, maybe that girl down there.
That one's a woman. So out of like 20 or so people, 3 of them are women.
Well, here's my thing, right? It's supposed to be he wants to resurrect the youth. So that the youth can make a new world without the tainted, like, corrupting power of the adults. And so I have 2 things about that, right? Like, first of all, I get what he's saying, but at the same time, like, maybe Hunter and I are abnormal teenagers, but I think about my sister.
And if she got,
not anymore, but like when we were teenagers, I think about my sister and that she's a teenager and like her friends. And I'm just like, they're all fucking idiots. No offense, okay?
Like
you can't, but they're idiots in like a different way, if that makes sense. I don't know, like, yes, if you guys don't know, my sister's a bit more like mainstream stuff. Like, she's not into anime, she doesn't like video games. She's just, you know what I mean? Like, you understand what I mean, though? Like, that's not...
she's very, I don't know, I don't
know how to explain it. It's like the teenage girl stereotype.
Yeah, I guess
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just saying, it's mainstream for guys. I think, obviously, lots of guys play video games. The anime thing is still a little... You know what I mean? I was in class. Okay, so this is going to be sort of off topic, but I think it'll actually maybe be interesting to some of you. So for one of my classes, the teacher is a professor, and she started in the health and sciences, and so her whole field of study was like people posting self-harm images on the internet or self-harm as it is portrayed in manga. And so she was like, okay, so who knows what manga is? And I was like, and then there was like one other girl, but either nobody was willing to put their hand up or nobody actually knew. And that was probably just the saddest day of my life. Then after that, I went to the English class where 2 girls behind me were talking about the Nintendo Direct that happened, and so I felt a lot better. Why are the English kids cool and the people in my program lame?
Video games and anime are pretty gender neutral.
Yeah, and so I don't know what happened there, but that was like the most disappointing like first day of school experience I had. Was like, so who knows what manga is? And no one knows. Anyway, my point is
and there is a point apparently.
I just don't understand. Like, if my sister got resurrected into Tsukasa's army and her friends, her, like, normal friends, as opposed to us, which I think we are nerdy. You know what I'm saying? And we were nerdy in high school. I just don't get it. I don't see that going right at all. Ever. Because, I don't know. I think that, yes, adults are corrupt, and adults are sometimes in positions of corruptness. But teenagers can be just as power hungry and just as selfish and just as adulty. You know what I mean? Especially like when you think about like say rich kids, for example, that probably have the same amount of power as their parents. Or maybe even more because they're teenagers and they can get away with certain things that adults can't. It's just sort of like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just sort of weird. Like, I get it.
Also, like, what happens when you reach like adulthood? which
Well,
is
nothing.
a nebulous term.
I think that it's just like he doesn't want the people with the mentality of the old people, but the fact is that young people don't all think the same.
That's
and
true.
I think that a lot of young people may think like their parents until they like move out and experience the world and form their own ideas. So I'm just like, is this a good idea just to bring back all the teenagers? Because if I don't know, if I were Tsukasa, I would just aim like maybe 20 to 30. Okay, maybe even a little, maybe less than 30, but just like, still.
It's
well, if I was
almost like
Tsukasa, I wouldn't be Tsukasa because I would be Senku and try to bring back everyone because no one deserves to stay trapped in rocks for 3,000 years and then just die.
You would not be Senku. All of us are lack the, like,
oh, yeah, I know. I
range
mean
of
like that I
knowledge
would
of
want to
man.
bring back everyone.
Sure.
That's sort of what I meant. But yeah, so it's just beefy guys, and that's my second question, okay? Like, the teenager thing aside, which we've sort of gone back and forth on and discussed, right? Like, how many teenagers are like this?
Yeah, really.
Okay, like, really, really beefy, and I get, like, Japan's a big place. Okay,
Sure.
so maybe, okay? So it's selective, right? Like, say there's well over millions of
the
people in
gyms.
Japan. Right? And so he went around and picked out the beefy ones to resurrect first. You could argue and say. But, like, I've never seen a teenager look like any of these guys. So he must be aiming a little older. I think he just does mean youth and not necessarily just teenagers. But at the same time, no offense, guys that look like that are also usually stupid. And maybe that's what he wants.
I feel like
I'm not trying to be
also a
super judgmental,
stereotype.
okay? I said usually. That's why it's
You
a
wanna know what
stereotype.
my
It's a
argument is?
generalization. What?
My argument is that they're like that when they were frozen 3,000 years ago. They no longer have, like, the necessary anabolic steroids and protein powders.
So they're just gonna fall.
Order to
They're just gonna deflate.
That shit's gonna deflate really quickly.
Oh my god.
I mean,
I
it's
think
anime,
that's
so it
definitely interesting too. I mean, but all the heavy labor that they have to do, that would keep them swole,
I mean,
as the kids
it'll
say.
they'll be strong, but they won't be that beefy because you need like an unnatural amount of protein.
Maybe
in
it's
your
the
system.
rocks. Maybe the rocks are helping. This guy looks like, okay, so I don't know if you guys can see my cursor. This guy right here looks like his beard is on the outside of the stone.
Yeah, a little bit.
Does it?
I mean, that's just a shading, but a little bit.
Anyway, that's off topic, but yeah. So that's I don't know, maybe that's intentional to like bring back all the people that statistically possibly are probably meatheads. You know what I'm saying? Stereotypically are probably meatheads because Tsukasa's intelligent, and so he can control them if they're all dumb.
I mean, he might be
he's
cunning.
intelligent. He's not Senku, but he's still smart enough. You know what I mean? Like, obviously his thing is having brute strength, but he's...
Is he? I don't know. Apparently he was able to keep people in line, so maybe he's a good, like, dictator.
We can't really... Yeah, exactly. And so we can't see any of the girls, so it's just sort of like...
There's only, like, I only spot, like, 3 women
like,
in all of this.
I don't know why. Not that I don't know why. I'm not sure why he would choose to bring the girls back this early, because we see some of them later and they don't look like they're doing
look pretty buff.
anything. Like, they
I mean,
don't...
no one looks like they're doing anything.
I'll talk
hanging
about
out
that
flexing.
after. Yeah, actually, you know what? This girl looks pretty fit, okay? Like, boobs aside.
I'm sorry, she could bench press both of us.
Probably, yeah. And so,
and
anyway,
then skinny boy
the
over
dusty old people of power are needed in this beautiful stone world. Let's make a new world together. And so that was the plot. That's
and so
what
the
happened.
only reason
So
why
maybe it's not necessarily, like, maybe it's just the youth, okay? Because I would say, like, once you reach a certain age, not that you're just smart and you're just smart forever, but you're much less stupid than when you are a teenager, right? Because your brain stops developing eventually.
I know some pretty, like, stupid 28-year-olds, so...
Well, maybe they're mentally stunted. I don't know what to do.
They're emotionally stunted.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I mean, so are you, and yet you're making judgment calls.
I'm 19! I'm not done developing yet! Anyways, he gets murdered, but he doesn't. Oops.
He has fake blood patches, and he was killed by magma, and we freaked the fuck out, because I'm like, oh my god, did they just kill him? Is this gonna be war?
They did it.
Is Melon Girl gonna die too? But nope.
So there's the grand, what do they call it? The grand bout, which is very... Anyway.
This was years ago, presumably.
So, here's the thing.
Yes.
They have to be inbred.
Oh, yeah. humanity wouldn't have gotten this far without a little bit of
But this is
inbreeding.
more than a little, because they don't accept outsiders.
Oh, yeah, no, they
So, it's been 3,000 years. They're all inbred.
That's probably why she's sick. She has, like, a lessened genetic immunity to diseases.
And so, I don't know. Because I don't know how early the outsiders rule has been in place, right? But that just seems counterproductive. I guess if you can live and sustain your own people, it doesn't really matter in your lifetime, and they don't have the concept of genetic diversity. But it's like, when you grow up with the same people and you're around the same people, like, wouldn't you want to fuck someone else? Like, wouldn't you want to go out there and just fuck someone else? Okay.
Sure. I guess, would that
and
be
I know
your
a
opinion?
spoiler for the show. Like, not a spoiler. I know something about the show.
Okay.
And so I guess I'll keep that in the back of my mind until
Sure.
later.
Is that why you would get excommunicated from the tribe? It's like, oh, there's Calxiyn. She left because she wanted to get dicked down by a foreigner.
Oh boy. Anyway.
Which isn't that a sentence?
No, it's just about other tribes, I guess, like other people that may or may not be around. And so, anyway, now that I know that part of thing, I just have some more questions, but we can't talk about it because it's not up
Anyways, the grand bout, if you win it, you get her hand in marriage.
Great.
After
And that's
she
how
comes of
that's
age.
how Dad won it. And so what happened to their mom? Because if she was sick, I guess she died. But
it's almost like inbreeding brings like genetic
I don't know.
weaknesses
I
that could
just-
result in both a mother and daughter dying.
maybe
of
she
similar
died in
diseases.
childbirth with Kohaku, and that's why.
Potentially, yeah.
Anyway, and so, I don't know. I just feel like there's some incest stuff where, like, he did the same thing that she did, but he married his sister, and then, like, literal inbreeding. That's just my guess. Anyway. And so Chrome tries to help her. That doesn't go over well. That doesn't matter. I
got
love
a
how he...
year
Okay, so this
mode.
is the other thing. I
Jesus.
love how he is talking to himself, right? Because his mouth is closed, but he's talking to himself as he, like, do you see his mouth moving?
Yes.
He's talking to himself and saying, maybe I should make it look like she drowned herself. And then, like, you know, I don't know why anybody else can't hear this, but she can hear this and fucking beats his ass, right? And so, I don't know. I
Not
just
the
think
least
that's
of which
weird.
Is that man looks like he's like 30.
'Cause
And if she just came of age, that could mean she's like 16 or something.
Even if he... How am I supposed to explain this? Even if he's the strongest in the village, if everyone in the village hears about how he wants to drown her and make it look like suicide to get the village elder, like, I get that they're primitive, and I get that this may be, like, this may work on a brute strength thing, but at the same time, I'm sort of like, would the village not have a mutiny about, like, hey, we don't fucking want that guy. Maybe Senku should invent
Drown them?
democracy. Or
Are
something.
they gonna invent democracy? I'm concerned Senku's gonna create a dictatorship.
I mean, because you could
But that's what
you
we
could
talked
have
about
everyone
earlier.
vote for who to marry her. That would be marginally better.
Or maybe she could just marry who she wanted.
I mean, I'm just saying, if it has to be some sort of competition.
I mean, holy shit,
Right, I'm
man.
just saying.
Imagine if you put it up as a Patreon poll of like, all right, fellas, who am I marrying?
That would be kind of funny. Okay, this is off topic, but someone left a comment, and they were like, okay, Cal, now it's your turn to choose. So this was on a Miraculous video, so it was, I think, a joke about Marinette and how she's in between guys right now. It's complicated. If you don't watch the show, you won't understand. But somebody was like, okay, Cal, it's time to choose Hunter, Thomas, or Arnold. And I was just like, okay, first of all, if they mean unicorn is war, Thomas is gay. So he shouldn't even be an option.
I'm in a relationship.
Hunter has
with
a
another-
girlfriend, and so I'm just like,
And
I don't know.
Arnold is living in a different country, 1,000
I mean,
miles away.
that's not the problem. But anyway, I'm just kidding. The problem is, like, why would you leave that sort of comment? But I love that it's like, they left the comment, I guess for me, but other people could vote, and it's like, guys, vote for who, you know what I mean?
Wait, so did the YouTube people decide? Who did they decide?
No, I
Was
deleted
it a
the
vote?
comment, so...
You should- why would you delete a comment?
Because I'm a
Personally, I
dictator,
wanna know.
okay? There's no democracy here.
Personally, I want to know, and I'm disappointed no one's whoring me out to YouTubers.
Yeah.
I take one for the team.
Anyway, so Magma killed Jen to win the grand bout, basically. Anyway, so we get this cute flashback with both of them, like, running in the flowers and basically him promising
I'm
he'll
gonna
take
help
care of her
you so
sickness.
you don't die of
She's been
tuberculosis.
sick forever, though, so that's
Yeah.
kind of interesting. Like, what disease would have lasted this long and for her to be alive? because I don't know enough about medicine.
Like, TB would have killed you by now.
Because if she just has an infection that could be cured with antibiotics, like, I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me.
Or maybe, I don't know.
Maybe she's just constantly sick all her life because of her immune system. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Because they think that she has a year at most, and I'm like, how did y'all come to that conclusion?
Maybe it's not an accurate
She just
conclusion.
got constant colds.
Imagine if she was just lying about it the whole time.
She was just pretending to be sick. That's a little wild. Because,
Like,
I don't know. Like, I don't know what disease would just have you coughing for 18 years and then you suddenly drop dead. Vote now on your phones. Anyway.
I don't know.
So, Jen wakes up in the middle of the night and he runs back to Tsukasa so Tsukasa doesn't come looking for him. Then we see Beef Boy number 1, alright?
And Archer Boy number 2 in a flat cap.
So, Archer looks like they're gonna be a character.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
And you see them in the background a couple times. I'm just pretty sure they're gonna be important. It's been a while since I've seen like the outro for the show or whatever showed all the characters.
And then there's just generic Mad Max looking muscle boys.
Yeah, so they're all muscle. There's one girl who looks strong. I mean, she has this sort of indent in her arm.
She could beat you up.
I think that was like one of the girls that was at the front in that sort of line earlier. They all kind of... And okay, so this guy, no offense, not to body shame, but he's a little like round over here. And so I'm just like, does it matter? Like, I guess the abs don't matter. It's just about brute strength.
I guess like he has like maybe like a bodybuilding
He'll lose weight in Apocalypse.
Strongman build.
I guess so. So he says that he found a primitive village, he got into a fight, and then Senku is dead.
Dead.
And yeah, so that's what happened.
And he did it all because Senku has to make him some Coca-Cola because he really
that's
misses
it.
Coca-Cola.
That's basically it. That's all we have to talk about.
I love how he's like, okay, I need to make some antibiotics, but first let's make electricity for no apparent reason, just to flex on some people.
Yeah, basically. That's basically what it was for.
And now they're like, well, I guess we're making Coca-Cola, which you need like sassafras for that. So I'm like,
would you?
I think you do to make Coca-Cola. And I don't know how he's gonna make it cold. Is he gonna climb on like the peak of Mount Fuji or something?
Couldn't you just put it in the water?
I mean, it depends how cold the water is. You could like put it underground. That would chill it, like way underground.
Like you have the hiccups now.
Listen.
So yeah, that's our discussion for the episode.
I'm glad that Mystery Boy didn't die. We see a lot of muscle boys.
Kids are dumb, so why?
Why would you? Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. You need people that can lift shit, but you also need people to make a pulley system. I don't know. Yeah. To educate people.
I guess so. I don't know.
So we can have both people who are muscly and very smart.
I think that I would just be like the priestess of the apocalypse. And people would worship
You would
me.
end up being like a scullery maid or a broodmare.
I mean, even how like Kohaku is, like, that would be fine. But yeah, I feel like I have Rory energy, okay? I'm just saying. That's
so you also have tuberculosis?
Maybe. Okay. We don't know. Anyway, what if she just has allergies and she's not actually getting sicker?
Oh my god, that's a good point!
Because she was in the flower field and...
Yeah! It's like,
I don't know.
Just, like, her eyes are watering? Like, no, she just...
Yeah, what if they all just think that she's gonna die? Because her dad, like, they told me that I won't live to be an adult. Like, how the fuck do you know? Unless you're aliens, like we discussed before. But anyway, that's okay. We'll see you guys later. Bye. Thank you for watching, and thank you to our wonderful patrons over on Patreon who support the channel. Their names will scroll through now.